Hey everybody, thanks for listening to the El Toro's podcast, exclusively now on Anchor.fm. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Here, let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on things like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast, which is always a plus, with no minimum listenership. And it's everything you need to make a podcast right at your fingertips and in one place. I can't believe it took me this long to switch over to Anchor.fm, but I couldn't be happier now. So, get yourself started and download the free Anchor app now, or go to Anchor.fm to get started.
You better not cool up, cause the world is cold, but I'm on to love. I said the world is cold, but I'm on to love. I know the world is cold, but I'm on to love. If you see me staring at you, better not cool up. I said the world is cold, but I'm on to love. I said the world is cold, but I'm on to love. I know the world is cold, but I'm on to love. If you see me staring at you, better not cool up. Come on, do love.
Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Toro here. I am back for another podcast, guys. I hope you guys are doing quite well. What's been going on with me? Hey, it's the East Coast, New York City. We got hit with a really bad storm, especially in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. And it was fucking crazy last night. Tornado watch, flash floods, torrential downpours. Several people woke up to no electricity, no internet, no cable. I was stranded pretty much because there was no internet. So it's not like I was able to work from home anyway. And I said, all right, I'm going to try to commute into the city. The Metro North trains currently still suspended until further notice. So I had no way of actually getting into New York City to be able to get any work done. So unfortunately, I had to call out because what could I do with no internet? I'm basically recording this off of my data connection on my mobile phone through the Anchor app on my device. And what a shit show it has been. It's been crazy. But thankfully, there has been no damage. Family is safe. We're all okay. Everything's on the up and up. What are you going to do, right? As long as we're healthy and we're okay, we should be fine. A lot of my friends haven't been so fortunate. Fortunately for them, some of my friends' basements have gotten really flooded badly, really, really badly. And they lost pretty much everything that was in the basement. So I feel really bad for them. My heart and thoughts and prayers are out to them in the hopes that they'll be able to be okay. As long as they're okay, family's okay, they're healthy and they're safe. That's the most important thing that matters to me. So why don't we get into wrestling? So right off the bat, I'm already annoyed about being right. I have said time and time again, anybody who would listen to me, that the second they start changing things up within the WWE, thinking that it's for the better, it's going to get worse. I'm not talking about the squash that they did to poor Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. No, sorry, not WrestleMania, at SummerSlam. I'm not talking about the fact that they had both Becky and Brock come in sooner than what was anticipated because of the debut of CM Punk on Rampage. I'm talking about the new logo change for WWE NxT. The second I started seeing that change, I already knew that something bad was destined to happen. I've been calling it for the past 4 years already that I love NXT, and I'm really, really hoping nothing changes with NXT. They already started out with the logo. Okay, I get it. Rebranding, whatever, what have you, and whatnot. The biggest part now is apparently the people who were in charge of NXT, which was Triple H primarily, and now it's no longer going to be Triple H. It's going to be taken over by Vincent Kennedy McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, which pretty much comes to the next thing that I am deeply, deeply concerned about. I am having a very, very bad feeling that now that those two fuckers are in control, and I say fuckers, it's essentially one fucker that tells the other fucker to do what he wants, and that fucker's going to do it. Y'all know who I'm referring to. There's going to be more releases happening with NXT, and I shudder to think that the ones that have been the staples of WWE NXT are the ones who are going to get let go. I'm talking about the likes of Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Kyle O'Reilly. We don't have to worry about Adam anymore because Adam is gone. He never signed. He must have known something was up already if he hadn't even signed any deals with the WWE. So he must have known something was going on if he didn't sign. There's going to be a shitload of OGs or huge staples of NXT that are going to probably be released, mark my words. And it fucking sucks because NXT, the way it was being run by Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and the likes, it's been a great product. Everything from their storylines and their matches, their cards, they've been great. And now I am extremely, extremely concerned with what's about to happen with NXT. Yeah, I'm very, very upset about it. I hope I'm wrong. I haven't been wrong yet. But hey, there's a first time for everything. That's my take right now on what's going on with NXT. Very annoyed with it. I really hope that the changes that are going to go into place are not as significant, but I'm not holding my breath. Whenever Vince McMahon is involved with something, shit hits the fan. And I'm not happy about it, especially with NXT. Go ahead and fuck up Raw and SmackDown all you months already. You already have the USA Network pissed off at you for what happened with CM Punk and not getting him into WWE since they already had a great working relationship with Punk. Talking about Fox backstage and whatever. So you already screwed the pooch on that deal, and now you're screwing the pooch with the USA Network. So y'all are just doing shit to like really fuck up things with the whole product itself. So much for a publicly traded company. I don't understand why the board of directors aren't doing shit about it. But that's neither here nor there. This past weekend, I was in Washington, D.C., so I didn't get to see these live, but I did purchase the pay-per-view bundle on Fight TV for the NWA Empowerrr and NWA 73. And holy fuck balls, both events were absolutely amazing. And my hat's off to Billy Corgan and Mickey James and everybody who was involved with the production of NWA Empowerrr. Having all of those promotions involved in one pay-per-view showcasing women's professional wrestling was phenomenal. It was amazing. My wife was even watching it with me. It's incredible. It was truly, truly incredible, very inspiring, tear-jerking, and we got to see some amazing professional wrestling, and I was very, very happy to watch that. NWA 73, the return of fucking Rick the Nature Boy Ric Flair at the pay-per-view was amazing, and his love for the business really, really runs so deep. And thank you, Billy, for actually bringing Ric Flair on board for the NWA. I just thought that was just a wonderful, wonderful moment, and the pay-per-view was just spectacular. Every match I was truly invested in. Loved every second of it. So that was really freaking cool. And my gosh, I was trying to watch as best as I could AEW Dynamite, but obviously with the internet issues happening here and there because of the storm, because of Ida, I wasn't able to watch the whole damn thing. I did get as far as watching Tony Schiavone attempt to interview CM Punk, which was hilarious because he pretty much told Tony, "Hey, Tony, I couldn't hear your question." The pop was incredible. It was truly, truly amazing. I am looking forward to that match this weekend at the AEW pay-per-view, man. I'm super, super excited. It's going to be great. It's going to be incredible. I'm seeing a lot of things online right now. Rumors about wrestling and whatnot. And you know what? That's one of the things that I try not to indulge too much upon are rumors. I like hearing it from the source itself. I like hearing it from the people who I know I'm invested in as far as my friendships and whatnot. So I would strongly suggest that people don't read into the rumors that you are seeing online about anything about professional wrestling, and just hear it from the source. Why don't you just take the opportunity of actually enjoying professional wrestling right now? That's really all you need to be doing. If you're a wrestling fan, just enjoy pro wrestling. Just watch the product. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, that's cool too. Everyone has their opinion, respectfully has their opinion. Just don't try to impose your thoughts and your shit onto other people. I mean, this is what makes a great dialogue between two people who love wrestling. I'm constantly busting chops of one of my buddies at work. He is a wrestling fan. I bust his chops for being a WWE/WWF fan. He knows I love him, and I know the feeling is completely mutual. He told me once that he's incredibly impressed with the knowledge I have about professional wrestling and pro wrestling. And this was just based off of one collaboration podcast I did for a New Year. And he listened to it from start to finish with the talks that we had about the Hall of Fame and women's wrestling and women's tag team stuff. And he was incredibly impressed with the knowledge. But you know what? That's the fun part about professional wrestling. If you're a true wrestling fan, you can have really healthy discussions and conversations about professional wrestling. And in the end, we still love one thing: professional wrestling. And that's the fun thing about pro wrestling. That's the fun thing that I like doing about podcasting. Every time I talk about pro wrestling, it fills me up inside. It makes me feel amazing. Right now, I'm just walking around the house, and I just took a quick look on the left-hand side, and I have 5 pictures, autographed pictures that I have up here that I had a chance to actually frame and put them up. And it's the tag team of the Twisted Sisters, Holly Dead and Thunder Rosa. I have the tag team of Rick and Scott, the Steiner brothers. Over here I have this one from my JCW days, Jersey Championship Wrestling, when they're in Six Flags Great Adventure. It is a picture of the Hall of Famers, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, Mick Foley, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and X-Pac, Sean Waltman. Over here, I have the amazing and talented and incredibly amazing human being, Mickey James, autographed here. And right in the middle of it, I have the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, Bret Hitman Hart. And I met him. He was always been my idol. He still is my idol. It's a guy I've always respected, his work ethic in the ring, the story that he told in the ring. And I got to meet him. And going a little further over here, I have all of my wrestling pins. I have the logo, the King of Sports in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I have the IWGP Heavyweight Belt, the Intercontinental Belt pin, the pin of the Los Ingobernables del Japón, the Red Bullet Club Inception, the Open Neverweight Championship, the AEW World Tag Team Belt, the AEW World Heavyweight Belt, the very first AEW TNT Championship logo belt, and I also have the AEW logo of All Elite Wrestling pin. I am so in love with professional wrestling. It's not even funny. And whenever I talk about pro wrestling, it just makes me feel incredibly, incredibly happy. It's a really amazing time to be a pro wrestling fan. Look at everything that we have right now. We have NWA that we can catch, NWA Empowerrr on Fight TV. We have All Elite Wrestling on TNT, on YouTube, and on Bleacher Reports. If you're in the United States, you can buy their pay-per-view there and not spend an arm and a leg, a spleen, your semen, your saliva by buying the pay-per-view through your cable company, unless you want to do that. But at least this way, if you buy it through Bleacher Report, you'll always have it and you can watch it at any time. Whereas on cable, you'll watch it once and then it's gone, unless you have the DVR service for it. You have Impact Wrestling, which I have to say, Impact Wrestling has really caught my eyes lately. They're actually doing a hell of a lot better right now with the regular division. Never had an issue with the women's division. Women's division has been always awesome. They were some of the pioneers of women's wrestling, in my personal opinion. That's just my opinion. Listen, you got Stardom. If you're able to get a hold of purchasing a subscription to watch Stardom Wrestling, I encourage you to watch it. You don't have to understand what they're saying. Just watch the wrestling. It's absolutely great. Sendai Girls also. It's been great. New Japan Pro Wrestling, huge staple. If you're actually able to find old episodes and old events of All Japan Pro Wrestling, I highly encourage that you start watching that stuff. Hell, High Spots Wrestling has a ton of DVDs that you can purchase. They have video on demand as well on a lot of events like New England Wrestling. You can also check that out. I'm going to be going to my very first show with the person that I was just mentioning earlier, the guy who I always rag about being a WWE, WWF star, a fan. He and I are actually going to be going to an event together. This will be my first event there, so I'm pretty excited about that. And I have so much love for wrestling. One day, it's still on my bucket list, and I'm going to try to work so hard on this, as hard as I possibly can. My bucket list, before I die, I want to be able to go into the wrestling ring, have one match, win or lose. I want my kid, both of my kids, and my wife to be ringside and see me wrestle one match. That is my bucket list. It could be a squash match. It could be a 5-minute match. It could be a 15-minute match. I don't care. Somehow, some way, this is my bucket list, and I want to do this once. It's been a dream. I want to do it. I don't care about getting paid. I want to be able to feel what it is and what it's like being in a wrestling ring. That's what I want. Sure, do I want to referee? Absolutely. I would love to learn how to referee. I would love to learn how to call a match. I would love to know how to write a script, a storyline for a match, for a character. I would love to learn how to do that, but I primarily want to be able to go into that ring one time. I hope I can do it someday. I'm going to try to do my very best to do it. I'm going to try to do my very best to see who can help me achieve this dream before I leave this world. And it's not going to be anytime soon. I'm not leaving the world anytime soon, so y'all can relax. Unless the man upstairs has something to say, I'm not leaving this world anytime soon. But that's my love for pro wrestling. I've been trying to keep these podcasts as short as I possibly can. The only exception to that rule is I've actually have a guest on the show. So I'm working really hard on that. But for now, this is El Toro signing off. I love you guys. Thank you for staying on board. Thank you for keeping tabs on me. Love you guys very, very much. And you know what I'm going to say next. Be safe.
Yo, the world is cold, but I'm on to love. So the world is cold, but I'm on to love. Yo, the world is cold, but I'm on to love. If you see me staring at you, better knuckle up. 'Cause yo, the world